You're tuned to Trust One Realty, making sure your next move is a smart move. Now here's your host, Arbi.
Welcome to Trust One Realty. I'm your host, Arbi, and today's sponsor will be Los Angeles Mission, who are helping the homeless and the low-income families. So now, this holiday season, where I want to see if we could help the less fortunate families in this coming holidays and provide some monetary or clothing gifts for their kids, so we can make sure everybody is not hungry this holiday.
That's right, because there's a lot of folks that are out on the streets right now, Arbi. And then especially with the recent fires in Southern California, I'm sure there's a lot, even more displaced families, unfortunately.
Yeah, and FEMA is the one that helps them out.
Yeah, so they certainly could use some holiday cheer.
Exactly.
Right
on. So just to give you guys stats on where the money goes and what happens, $2.03 provides a meal, $25 provides meals and care for one person, including food, clothing, and shower and bed. $1,000 can provide and adopt a meal based on the $500 meals, and a $25,000 sponsors a student here for 1 year. Here meaning Los Angeles Mission Organization.
Right.
And if you are interested to donate monetary or clothing or gifts, you could call their number at 213-629-1227, extension 437, which should be Ms. Tina Russick. And you can also call that same number, ask for Jason.
Right.
Jason does the monetary donations.
And then you know what I didn't realize until we interviewed those folks over there is the importance of not only canned foods, but food that doesn't expire, but socks. That was a surprise to me.
Yes.
Because a lot of folks, you have issues with your feet, and especially if, you're out in the cold, you have some health issues. Socks really is a very important part of that, right?
Yeah, you reminded me. They actually sent me a new updated needs that they need, an updated one.
Oh, okay. Well, what are some of the stuff on the updated list?
It's similar to the other one, except it's just larger.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people needing stuff. That's right.
It's you need men's underwear, medium, large, and extra large. Men's clothing shirts, medium, large, extra large. Men's clothing pants, women's underwear, women's braziers, all sizes. Hygiene products like deodorant, razors, soap, lotions, travel size. Unwrapped toys, which is what we were talking about earlier.
Right, yeah.
Travel size shampoo and conditioners, travel size toothpaste and toothbrushes.
So there's a whole list that these folks need. And for more information, do we have their website?
Yeah, you could check on their website at www.losangelesmission.org, or you could call that number.
Right.
But the website will probably be the best way, the easiest way. But if you want to talk to them, you could definitely give them a call.
Oh, they're waiting. They're ready to help folks, and we can use your help in helping to support the community. I'm excited about today's show.
It is. It's a very different show.
It is a very different show. You want to describe today's show?
Well, we want to first welcome our new team member, Ivana, to Trust One Realty team.
Yes.
And she's also she'll be in the Los Angeles real estate area, which is downtown area.
Nice.
Wilshire and Spring, or 7th and Spring, or 6th and Spring.
I say we take a break, and when we come back, we learn more about our brand new team member. What do you think, Arbi?
Sounds like a plan.
You guys are tuned in to Trust One Realty right here on Island Block Radio.
You're tuned to Trust One Realty, making sure your next move is a smart move. Now here's your host, Arbi.
Welcome back to Trust One Realty. I'm your host, Arbi, and this segment is sponsored by Marlon Videz, Only Escrow. She does all kinds of real estate escrows. She's one of a kind. She's a senior escrow officer. If you're into real estate and you want to buy your house or sell a house, preferably if you're selling it, you would be the first person who would choose the escrow. But if you are not, pick only escrow. They're in Woodland Hills. And to get in touch with her is 818-384-7249. Just let her know that Arbi referred you. She'll take care of you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So you want to introduce our new team member?
Yes. So we have Ivana Bakir, right?
Right.
She's a new agent in our team. She joined our team a few weeks ago, and we're very pleased to have her in our team. And we're gonna help her and get her going in the real estate career.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited.
So what did you do before coming onto the Trust One Realty team?
I was mostly property manager, managing properties type of low income with less fortunate, which since we mentioned that before.
Right. So you're very familiar with property, and so what was the most amount of units that you managed at one time?
That was 2 buildings in Hollywood, together about 60 units, 60 probably, yeah. And that was low-income properties. So people were sponsored by government, those apartments. Those were older people with women with children, single mothers. That was very, very good experience for me. I have a chance to see all the aspects of managing properties.
Yeah, that's one of the things that it intrigued me was I'm planning on getting into managing apartments that I own, and she has the background for that. She's used software that they actually use for management, which is Yardi.
That's right.
So even though it does change, they do change the program, but she's going to be a lot easier for her to start remembering rather than me taking the course and going through the process.
Right.
So it makes the company a lot 2 steps ahead, that we have somebody in the company that has that experience.
And this is good too, because as you join the team with the property management experience, there are going to be some folks who are tuning in right now who they want to invest in income property and perhaps understanding the Section 8 and subsidized housing. You bring that experience to the team. So I think that's great.
Right. It's single family homes or apartments, especially in downtown that she works at. Most of those buildings use Yardi. It's a very expensive and very popular program. Even the apartment building I lived in downtown, Pegasus, they use Yardi. So it's not like they don't have it on Excel sheet. It's all calculated. All the contracts are there. Everything is in that program. And they basically pump it out automatically on schedule. So you have to utilize that software when you actually get into, especially after when you reach 5 units or more. You have to use that program or anything at least similar to that.
It's industry standard is what you're saying. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So Arbi, let me ask, what was it about her that made you realize, she would be a good addition to the team outside of her experience in using that particular software and the property management aspect?
When I talked to Ivana, one of the things that really drawn me was that she really wants to succeed in the industry, in real estate as an agent.
Nice.
And I felt that what she was going through, what I went through when I started in actual being an agent, not after my investment period. And she was struggling based on other brokers that were offering nothing other than where to hang the license. And I felt as if I've been in her shoes before. And I felt that, she is somebody who's looking for a direction to succeed. And I felt, since I had a few people that came in my life and kind of directed, and I felt that I have to do the same, because she has the ambition, the motivation to do it. It's just nobody was there to help her out. And fortunately, I was able to be helped, and I want to pass that on and help her out with it.
That's so cool. And then for you, what is it about working in the real estate industry that intrigued you?
Well, you helping people to get the dream come true. House is that dream for everybody, doesn't matter, rich or poor. Everybody wants to have that for kids, for themselves, and that's the American dream, ultimately.
Right.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what what I love about the industry is pretty much helping get consumers, families into the dream home. Because at the end, it is a dream home. It is a big expense, a big investment.
Right.
That they need. You just can't walk into a store and buy a house. They require somebody with knowledge, somebody who has compassion and understand the industry, where they could help them out, walk them through. Which is one of the things that I want about my show is to break it down for families to see what's really in the industry, what's part of the real estate transaction, because it's not just the agent. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and every customer believes that there's a buyer and there's a seller agent, and we do all the actual. We're part of the whole transaction,
right.
Which it's not even close to the truth. It is it's us connecting all the other industries together to come up with a completed transaction, legally protecting the buyer, the seller. All of these people are in the scope. So I want to let people know that when you pick an agent, buyer or seller, they are the ones that are connecting to other parts of the industry, title and stuff like that, and they connect them. They facilitate basically all the services.
Can there be one person to do both roles?
Yeah, you could do. The agent could be a buyer and seller agent, which you would have to disclose a dual agency disclosure form. So you would let the consumer know that you're on the buyer side and you're also on the seller side.
Got it. Arbi, let me ask you, because you've been in the industry a long time. We have a brand new team member on Trust One Realty. What are some of aside from experience, because everybody knows the more experience you get, the better your quality of work, the more efficient you become. Okay, we get that.
Right.
But what are some of those aspects in terms of what are those traits of someone who succeeds in the real estate industry?
Nowadays, it's a lot different than it was 15, 20 years ago. Nowadays, everybody's aware of how real estate works. What we have to do as real estate agents is we have to basically, the part that we're there to help them out, we have to break it down and offer outside on additional stuff that we could help them out with. It's not just about, what documents to sign. We have to also be able to offer some additional concierge service. If they want to fix the house, when they walk into a house, they love the house, they want to fix the house, they should have an idea on how much it would cost, or have somebody on speed dial that could give them a price on how much the house would cost to fix it if they potentially want to buy it.
And then that actually goes to you and your experience, because being a property management, you understand the cost involved, right, of fixing certain things. So say a potential client wants to buy a fixer-upper, you would have more of an idea of what it costs to fix that particular property. Right.
Absolutely, yes. There is many things people don't even think about before they buy the house. And agent has to tell them. They have all bunch of people checking out the property before they invest the money into it, before they move in. But there is a completely different perspective when you work as a property manager, when you know exactly how the roof will start falling, how the grass growing fast, what else you need to maintain this house with the all year round weather change, depend where you are, where you're located.
That's more. That's very important to know. So because that's what we're here for, is to answer those questions. They're not gonna come up with this. Say, what if this? What if that?
Right.
We're supposed to inject those questions and those concerns for the consumer. That's why we're there. And that's why a lot of agents are not are following the same guidelines. When reality is your job is not to just basically deliver them a contract. It's for you to utilize your knowledge and your expertise and your education to educate them. That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, because they first, especially like first time home buyers, they don't know what they don't know.
Exactly.
And that's
Right.
where your experience comes in as a
Right.
property management, as a realtor.
Right.
Right.
So if somebody comes to me and says, I want to buy a 5-unit apartment, what do I need to do, and how do I manage it? This is one of the biggest questions they ask you is, how do I manage it? Some of them actually say, well, it's just 5. They'll call me, I fix the house. Okay, but how about the contracts? How about if they didn't pay on time? How do you pick up the checks? How do you deliver? How do they give you the checks? What happens if they don't pay you on time? What's the law against people who are just not gonna pay and they're basically just living in the house for free? How do you contact the repairman to come and fix the problems if you have emergencies? There's a lot of things into it. It's not just about the check, even though it's a passive income, but you have to take in those considerations that what if something, the plumbing problems, electrical problems, how do you fix the laundry on site if it does have a laundry on site? There's a lot, and that's where Yardi comes in. How do you get them to get the contract? You can't just pay a lawyer. It does come with the contracts, I'm assuming, right?
It does.
It does come with the contract. So yeah. So it's a one software that offers all the bells and whistles that you're gonna
That's
need.
called Yardi.
Yardi, yeah.
Okay.
It's a very popular one. Almost every building that has in downtown that has those types of units, they run that. And that's one of the requirements if you're applying for it, is to have experience in Yardi.
Got you.
Yeah. So that's where our job is as a commercial real estate agents. That's what we would tell them, that if you're going to buy a multi-unit apartment, you need a software that manages and maintains your clientele. And it's very vital to have that. So you would need now on a 5, like I said, depending on the situation, depends on how much money you have to spend. But you cannot do this by just wink of an eye. You just can't play along with it by playing by the ear. Right?
Is there any move to possibly do property management
As far
for
as
Trust One Realty?
we do offer commercial real estate as well. We do have the software to look for commercial and residential, and we do know what you're going to need to be able to run it and manage it. But you're going to need financial backing and a good plan. And you need to make sure that it's in the right area. There's no rent control. There's a lot of the items that we would need to sit down and discuss to kind of further the details on where you're going, what your goal is.
That makes total sense. We actually were talking about certain areas. So we're broadcasting here from Hollywood, California.
Right.
Downtown Los Angeles is very close. And you actually live in downtown LA, is that correct?
Yes, in a very middle of the downtown and historic area. Beautiful now, getting developed.
Right.
More restaurants than ever. So I invite you guys for lunch one day.
I like it. Anytime
Very nice.
anytime there's food involved, Arbi and Q will be there.
Yes.
So Arbi, let me ask you, from a real estate point of view, what are some of the things that you look for? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory when you go to the suburbs, when you go to a tract home, a neighborhood that has tract homes, and okay, you can tell which of the homes are upkept and doing really well. But in the downtown area, all you see are old buildings, right? How do you know if that old building is being kept? I mean, there are new buildings in there as well, but the facade it looks like a classic architecture and all that. How do you know as a realtor what's a good property downtown LA?
Well, the most of the downtown, a lot of it is kept as a exterior wise is more for historical. So when they buy a building like that has a historical exterior, you could gut the inside and remodel the whole thing and looking like it's a modern from the inside.
It looks brand new inside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But outside, due to laws, they have to keep, some of them falls under the historical landmark, so they can't touch the outside. They could fix it with something similar, but they cannot change it to modern. So all the piping is done. It's just brand new inside. And on top of that, one thing that they don't tell you is if you buy an old building built before 78, it falls under rent control on Los Angeles area.
Oh.
But when they gut it after 78,
right,
it becomes exempt from rent control. So every building in downtown, because it was gutted after 1978, it doesn't fall under the rent control law. So they could adjust the rent to evict you and to kick you out, so you could bring somebody else who will pay more. Which I think one of our episodes we will talk about rent control, because it's very important for investors.
I mean, it's come up in a couple of our shows.
Yeah, it's come up but we haven't really dug deep into it to explain on what's behind the whole rent control. Because some areas have it, some areas don't.
Yeah,
and some areas do have it, but that building particularly does not qualify to have rent control. Most of downtown buildings are rent controlled by law, but they're not. They're exempt because they're remodeled.
Yes, but you definitely see the difference between those buildings.
Yeah.
Oh, it's as far as like maintenance.
Yes.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Like mine, when I used to live in Pegasus, it was on Wilshire and Flower.
Yeah.
We had two major water pipe bursts that almost destroyed my wife's wedding dress.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
So, but luckily she was able to save it. But it was a big burst. The whole basement flooded. And a lot of times, again, this is the part where the software comes in. Is if you have something like this, something like that, if you don't utilize it, you will run into a lot of problems. It'll cost you a lot of money. Cheaper than getting the software and being up to date.
Let me ask you guys, because you guys have a lot of experience in terms of property management and in terms of selling and buying real estate. Is there a time when it is better to rent than to buy? What is your take on that?
Do you want to answer this one?
Well, right now, rent is going up downtown. That's what I can tell you. So it's for renters, they wait, and they can still wait a little bit longer. But again, the prices on a purchase, there is stagnation in downtown right now. How long it's going to be? Maybe it's going to go down. Maybe it's going to go up.
Right.
We have a lot of things happening right now. And it's when is good time? When you have money and when you have to look for the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of rent going down. Hey guys, rent has gone down. I've never heard of that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So what's your take on it, Arbi?
I think real estate, if you're able to afford real estate based on the money, based on the prices now, I prefer you to, as far as investment, live as a resident and invest at the same time. It's something where it's a necessity in LA. People want to live here.
Yeah. And
it's basically parking your money on real estate, on land. And is the only item in the United States that even the government cannot come and say, I want the land. It is your land. If they're gonna
Eminent domain.
exactly. So if they come and tell you that we're gonna build an apartment building here, you say, I don't think so.
Dash Radio.
Island Block Radio presents Trust One Realty with your host, Arbi.
You're tuned in to Trust One Realty. I'm your host, Arbi, and today's sponsor will be California Fire Foundation. They're the ones that are the forefronts that help all the firefighters, police officers, due to the recent fire that we had, at least 4 of them. They help them out with financial backing, emotional, and just somebody to talk to about the situation. If you can, go ahead and visit the website at www.cafirefoundation.org. You can also donate monetary, and you could read about, see what other method you could help all our firefighters and police officers.
Yeah, man, our first responders who are.
Yes.
I couldn't do that, guys. They're way braver than I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so definitely let's give that website out one more time. Arbi.
It's www.cafirefoundation.org. And yeah, while I'm running away, they're running in.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Right.
Well, and from Trust One Realty, we thank for your services. And so here's my pick of the week. And so my pick of the week today will be what to use as a gift when you're going to Christmas, birthdays, or any type of engagements. Is, do I give him a Visa gift card?
Yeah.
or a shopping center gift card? I think it depends.
I think you got to go Visa.
True, but sometimes it depends. But Visa would be the best,
Yes.
or Amex, because unless you know exactly that this specific store, they love to go,
Right.
but you don't want to you want to make sure that they have the option to pick whatever store.
You don't want to limit them, right?
Right. You want to open open their options. It's all about choice and options. But it's much better if you buy something, an actual clothing. However, due to circumstances, pick a Visa or an Amex card. You'll thank me later.
And so will they.
Yes, they will.
It's been my experience. Don't buy the wrong size, guys.
That's true too. That's then you go with
Get the gift card.
Get the gift card.
If you mess up, blame it on Arbi at Trust One Realty.
There you go. You guys know where I am. So, Ivana, what's your thoughts on the gift?
I think smaller is better because that's how you see me. If I'm size extra large and you buy me a small or medium, you see me as a small.
Then that's a compliment.
That's exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, you
Good-
see?
good advice.
Guys, rather smaller than bigger size.
I think that's great advice.
It's a very thin line.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
So-
this is a great show, Arbi.
It was awesome, and I think this is a way to get to know other people, bring our listeners into the engagement part,
Yep.
where we could help even the simplest things, which is a gift card.
There it is. And welcome to the team.
Thank you very much.
Yes, welcome, and we will succeed.
That's right.
Once again, thank you, and hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to tune in next week. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment on my Facebook page at RB Agent. And the first 3 commenters will get a free $10 Starbucks card. Funny, we just talked about that.
I know.
There you go, folks. Our 9th episode of Trust One Realty. We hope to see you next week from all of us at Trust One Realty and Ivana.
Yes.
We hope to make the next move a smart move. I'm your host, Arbi, and we will see you next week.
You're tuned to Trust One Realty.